Good evening, and welcome to Build Your Best Life with Coach Deborah D. Smith. I am excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join Build Your Best Life. I believe it is better to train early rather than to have to fix later. Well, it's all about actions is our theme for this year. Our theme for October is positive living, ultimate success. Positive living can give you ultimate success. Good evening, Dan. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you come in, please like, share. We welcome your comments and your feedback. So please put your comments in the comment section and don't forget to share. Also, please go out on my YouTube channel and subscribe to my page on YouTube. I'd appreciate it. You don't have to change your viewing, but I would love to have you as a subscriber on that YouTube page. So thank you so much. But just come on in and like and share. Good evening, Nikki and Linda Smith. Thank you all for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Well, positive thinking is a powerful thing. And we talked about that earlier. You don't want to rely on your education, your job, your position, your title, or any of that to be your power. Your positive thinking is what is the most powerful thing that you can work with. Because when you have your powerful thinking, you stay positive, you're upbeat, and hopefully you are around other people that are positive as well. But just like anything else, you have to sustain the power. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, sustaining the power. So you don't want to let anything drag you down or change your course once you have obtained living a life or having that habit of living positively. So, it is just essential, whether it is your self-care, your associations, your goals, being able to listen to others and not always being the one that has to know all, tell all, interrupt people. You want to listen. That's showing that you are positive. And of course, think before you act. Well, positive living will ultimately bring you success. And that's why that's my theme today. Yes. Thank you for that comment, Nikki. So even though you're going to have that success, again, we want to ensure that we are doing what we need to keep the positive thinking and maintaining that power that you have. So I'm going to go through some things for you to think about, give thought to. And if you have some thoughts, give us your input. We appreciate it as we go through and talk about sustaining the power today. So the first thing I have is some things that, when you think about it, it's like what you do to get something, you have to maintain that to keep it. And that is more than one aspect of your life. So one is relationships. That friend, that spouse, that significant other, close peers. What did you do to make them like you, to draw them to you? That you're not someone that they're running away from, but they think, well, that's a nice person. I don't mind being around them. I enjoy them. So I want to have a relationship with them. So whatever started that relationship, you have to keep that going in order to sustain that relationship. Because I would think it was positive. Because if you were nasty to someone, mean to them, you were never kind, you never spoke to people, they wouldn't want to be around you. You wouldn't have those relationships, correct? No family you're tied to, but just because you're tied to family, you don't have to have that close relationship with them. So you have to do those things that are essential. So relationships are one of the most important ones. Good evening, Tamika, and good evening, Agnes. Thank you both for tuning in. Another one is employment. I need a job. Well, I just have to have a job. I can't make it. I've gone through my savings. I've gone through my emergency fund, or I've been on leave for long enough. I just need to go back to work. I want a job. So you put your resumes together, you shine them up, make them look good. You make sure that they're up to date. And then you go out there and um, apply for those jobs, and hopefully you get them. So then you have the job, you're on the job. You got probably that first week you were on time. You were doing what you were supposed to do. If they had a certain dress code, you followed the dress code. Whatever it was to get that job. Guess what? You need to do those same things in order to keep that position. So you need to show up on time. You need to make sure you do your assignments on time. If they have a dress code, that's their dress code. You knew that when you apply for the job. Don't say, well, that's discriminatory. This is the way I like to dress, and I don't understand why I have to dress this way. It doesn't make any difference. My work doesn't have anything to do with my clothing. Well, if they had that policy in place when you got that job and you're happy for that job, guess what? You just need to stick it out. But do those same things that you did to get that position to keep it. That is essential. Okay? Your lifestyle. Okay, so I don't want to drive American made cars. I don't want to live on a certain side of town. My home has to be made out of particular material. I have to eat at 4-star or 5-star restaurants. I can't do anything below that. That's your lifestyle. That's what you chose. How did you get that lifestyle? You were working, maintaining, keeping your credit up to date, keeping those savings the way you were supposed to, paying those tithes. You're doing all of that. All of a sudden, you decide you want to make a shift. So you don't want to hang out with the Joneses anymore. You want to hang out with the Rockefellers. But the Rockefellers are way above the lifestyle that you have been living. So it's going to cost you some more money. So you begin to hang out with the Rockefellers, and guess what? You can't afford to buy anything but an American-made car, and even not a sedan. You got to get a little compact car. Why? Because you didn't use your positive thoughts, what was making you and your family comfortable, the lifestyle you were comfortable with. You wanted to shift and do something that you saw someone else doing to make that change. So you did not sustain what you had. You didn't sustain it. So now what? It's gone because you couldn't keep it. So like I said, there are different aspects or different components of your life that you have to maintain in order to sustain that power. A couple more, I'm going to shift. Another one is healthy habits. You have healthy habits. You go to the doctor, you get a bad doctor's report. If you don't start eating properly, you're going to have to go on diabetes medicine. If you don't begin to exercise, you're not going to be able to maintain your pressure. You're going to have to go on medication. If you don't begin to eat right, you're going to have an impact on your organs. You're getting in that threshold of being close to having to uh, go on dialysis or whatever. So all of a sudden, you change. So you think positive, I want to be healthy. I want to be around for my grandkids, my great and grandkids. There's no reason why I can't eat like I'm supposed to, drink water like I'm supposed to, take a walk every, at least 2 or 3 times a week. There's no reason why. So you're positive and you're going out there and you're doing it. You got you some buddies and you're doing it together. And you do this consistently, it becomes a habit. That power of positive thinking. You told yourself you could do it, you've been doing it, and the doctor is so happy with the results. So you keep doing it, right? Then all of a sudden you make this shift. You start going back to those bad old habits a little at a time. If I just do it a little at a time, it won't impact much. I can, not that I'm going to go back to my old lifestyle, but, maybe I don't have to walk twice a week. Maybe if I eat what I'm supposed to eat 5 days a week, I can splurge other days. And so you get into those old habits, and then what happens? Those doctor reports don't look as well as they did. So again, you have to maintain. You want to sustain the power. So that positive thinking that you're having, that's why it's important to make sure that you get up every day, you're saying your affirmations, you're spending that time in prayer or meditation, journaling, whatever, to make yourself recharged. Remind yourself, hey, I'm a positive person. I want to live a positive life. I want to be around positive people. So this is what I have to do. And that last thing is that positive mindset. So if you're positive, you have that positive mindset, you want to do everything in every aspect of your life to maintain those good habits so you can sustain your positive thinking, and that can remain your power and not let negative aspects of your life take over. So that is essential. The second thing I want to say is don't place your values or your stock in the results, but how you achieve the outcome. I said it again. Don't place your stock in just the results, but how you achieve the outcome. So, as an example, uh, you are healthy. Now you're healthy and you are so happy, everything's going well. So, you can't just look at, I'm healthy, I'm where I want to be, great for me. You got to keep in mind, how did I get here? How did I get here? So, whatever it took to get to that point, you cannot just throw that out the window and forget about it. You've got to keep that in mind. I was doing certain things in order to get in this place. So I got to keep my mind on that because I want to sustain my positive power. Somebody put in the chat, positive power. Positive power. Okay. You heard the thing, just because you put a ring on it, uh, it belongs to you. No, you put a ring on it, but what happens? So now you in a strong relationship. You think it's almost rock solid because you put a ring on it. They don't belong to you. They're not a piece of property. So that means that you don't get to mistreat them. You don't get to take them for granted. You don't get to just go out with the guys and spend time with them and forget about her now that you put a ring on it. You've got to spend that quality time, what it took to get her. You didn't get an opportunity to put that ring on her finger by hanging out with the guys, or never paying her any compliments, never giving her some flowers sometime, opening doors, telling her she looks good, she smells nice, what kind of cologne do you have on today? So what makes you think that you can just forget about all of that? It's okay. She belongs to me, so I do what I please. No, it doesn't work that way. You were positive back then, even if you had some, I'll say, not so good behaviors, you were able to keep them in check because you wanted to show them the best side of you. So now you want to reflect back. And I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. No, I can't. I don't know why when I get on here, my mind goes blank with the titles of movies. I don't know, it's Obsessed, but it's the movie with Michael Ealy and Shania Lathan. And, he's a narcissist. He's very, very dangerous, but he's like, oh, so nice. Oh, such a gentleman until, he thinks, hey, she's going out with me. She's mine. She belongs to me. I do whatever. And then the real person came out and he was deadly. So, that happens in a lot of situations. So don't be so careful or so fast to, step out there and do things like that. So always think about what you're doing, your actions, other people's actions. Just watch them, I fell in love overnight. Did you really? Do you really know the person? So if you fell in love with them overnight, then if you wait for a year before you take a huge step, it's like they're still going to be there, right? You're still going to love them because the person that you think that you fell in love with overnight, if they're genuine, then they'll be the same person in a year. So you have to cover yourself. But guys, don't think that you can take advantage of people. You have to keep up those things that you did in order to get them in your good graces. So you're positive. You have to stay positive if you want to maintain. You lost weight. That doesn't give you an open ticket to now. I can go to every buffet. I can eat desserts as much as I want. When I go on a cruise, I can eat every dessert every night. You can't do that. You have to remember, how did I get to this place? I maintained balance. I had healthy habits, and I was able to have willpower. So I have to do that same thing now. Can't forget about all those things. You always have a problem with organization. You've never been an organized person, whether it's in the workplace, at home, wherever. Your car looks a mess, your house looks a mess. So you pay someone to come in and declutter. You sit down, you have this conversation. They tell you about things that you keep that you don't need to keep. When you finish using something, if you put it back in the place that it goes, then you don't have to worry about it later on. You clean as you go, all of this. So you paid your money. They help you to declutter. Everything looks wonderful. So you got to remember, you can't just remember, oh, now it looks wonderful. You got to remember what it took to get it to wonderful. So those things that they taught you, that you paid them for, you've got to keep those little things in place. Those new habits that they taught you, you've got to follow those, right? And that's a good one right there, because it doesn't even have to be someone teaching you how to declutter, but someone teaches you something. And so it's like, okay, I know how to do it now. And then it's like, oh, but I didn't take down one note. I didn't record anything. I don't have a pamphlet. And they're gone. You already paid them. So you had a good outcome. But now where are you? If they're not there and you don't know how to do it, you didn't take any notes, you were basing your everything on that outcome. But if you're thinking in a positive manner, this is good. I want to learn this. I need to learn this. How am I going to ensure that I'm going to retain this knowledge that I'm gaining. Well, if they don't give you a training manual or something, then you're going to physically have to do what? Take some notes. See, is it okay if I record you? You're going to have to take some physical notes. But again, you have to look at those results. How did you get there? Not just the end result, but how you got there. And then this is number 3. This is the last one. It is important that you practice what you've learned, or the way you've lived when you're positive and life was a joy. So if you were living in a good place, you were happy, you enjoyed being around people, positive all the time, got up every day, made sure that you were in full charge and just, go out there. So bad situations may hit you as soon as you get out of your house to someplace else, but you are so charged and so positive that it doesn't have a huge impact on you. So then that's wonderful, wonderful, right? So what are some of the things that you need to do then to keep that joy, to sustain that power? You must continue to follow those traits and form consistency. Consistency. I think consistency has been my word for probably, I know, at least 10 years, probably more. But consistency, if you have policies or procedures, principles, things like that, you keep that consistency. I teach basic principles. We had those basic principles years ago, and basic principles never go away. Situations change, people change, but principles don't. Well, if you don't keep that consistency, if you never learn those, then you don't have them to fall back on. But if you are consistent, this is something I do all the time. I'm just trucking away and I'm good. I'm in a good place, a positive place. I have the power. I'm trying to keep it and I'm being consistent. Hi, Jocelyn. Thank you for tuning in. So you want to be consistent. But with that consistency, something else happens. Guess what? If you're consistent, it now becomes a habit. So I don't know, some of you have been with me since day one. So you've been around for almost 3 years. Some people maybe 2, 1, couple months. But you've heard me say that, you need to form habits. Learn this. I've been talking about affirmations. Learn those affirmations. When you get up every morning, that there are positive things that you've written about yourself. You stand in the mirror and you say those consistently. You're going to learn them, right? You're going to be able to remember, say them by heart. Just anytime you need to reconfirm yourself or put yourself in a good place, you can say the affirmation because you did it consistently and it has become a habit. So now as you do whatever, it's got you in this place to be positive, think positive, be positive, live positive, be around positive people. You've done it consistently, it will become a habit. And habits are great. You hear people say, habit forming. Don't use this drug consistently because it's habit forming. You start taking it, you're going to routinely take it, and then it's going to be a habit. You have to have it. So when you do something consistently, it's going to become a habit, but it is a good thing because we know we can have good habits and bad habits. But when you do those positive things on a consistent basis and they become habits, that's a good thing. So then once it becomes a habit, you will continue to do it. You just do it like clockwork. You get up and it's like, if you don't do certain things, it's like, wait a minute, wait. I have a routine that I do every morning. But if my husband happens to be home, then the routine has to kind of like shift a little bit. And it's like, well, wait a minute. So if it shifts, it's like, did I do this? Because I normally do, because I just do it, So we continue to do it, we're happy, we become more productive, life becomes more favorable, we're winning things in life. Life is good. Is life going to be good all day, every day? No, I'm not saying that. But when you're in a positive place and you start your day out completely charged, then hey, this is a good thing. And that's a place that you want to be in. So when those bumps in the road come, you're okay. You don't just fall apart, get depressed, get anxious, because you are positive and you know that life happens. And you're always ready for it most of the time. And then finally, you will learn to be kind to others. Because when you're positive and you have that joy, you're thinking positive, you're being positive, you're doing positive things, you're doing things for others. You want others to be the same and feel the same way that you do. You got to be kind to others. And hopefully some of that will rub off on them, and then they will in turn pay it forward and be kind to someone else. But I hope that you remember these things that we talked about today, because the last couple of months we have been talking about positive thinking, and it's coming to an end. We are almost in November. So November, we're going to be talking about the last building material. So we will be coming off of this one. So I hope that you have learned something, picked up something new, got a tidbit that will help you, a nugget that you like, yes, I want to, that was so great. I hadn't thought about that. I hope that you did pick something up these last couple of months about positive thinking and how important it is to be positive, think positive, live positive, and try to be around other positive people. So I do hope that you have enjoyed this. But do remember, if you tuned in late, you can go back and look at the video in its entirety. Make sure that you like, share with others, because we are here. Build Your Best Life does not plan on going anywhere. We are here to help young men and to help mothers with sons to understand that no matter what life brings you, what obstacles are put in your way, our young men can overcome those obstacles and build their best lives. So we are here to show them that, to equip them, answer questions, have other people to come in that have expertise in other areas to assist them as well. So please share what we're doing here on Build Your Best Life. Please make sure that you visit my website, which is www.buildyourbestlife.org. Out there, you can find out more about Build Your Best Life. You can read my blog that comes out each Monday. You can see our calendar of events. Our next big event is our Blessed and Grateful Conference that starts on Monday, November 14th, and runs through that Thursday, the 17th. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have some great speakers this year. And it is my prayer that we will end up at our designated detention center for young men, so that I can share my message with them and give them a book, Build Your Best Life, as well as a care packet, and to show them that, they're not alone. Someone is here for them and have their backs. And also on my website, you can see the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultations, speaking, webinar speaking, as well. You can get a autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. Just go out there on my website and order your book, or you can feel free to email me at byblwdsmith@gmail.com to order your book and get your autographed copy in the mail quickly. If you prefer the Kindle version, you can visit Amazon.com. Also, if you reside in the Bahamas area, We do have books on the ground there. You just simply need to see Anastasia Smith. She's in Nassau, but she does have copies of Build Your Best Life there. So again, thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate it here at Build Your Best Life. Excuse me. Please join us Saturday as we end out this theme. And our topic is life happens. Life happens. You know, sometimes we forget that you're going to run into situations, and some people tend to lose it because, oh my goodness, you know, what's going on? But life happens. We have no control over uh, those obstacles that may pop up. God is in control and He does things in His timing. So we have to, realize, okay, you take a breath. What are the things I need to do? So I hope that you will join us Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. as we talk about life happens. So again, I do appreciate you tuning in. Remember, as you travel on your road to being a better you, you will run into distractions, rough terrain, pitfalls, and detours. Don't let any of those negative aspects stop you. Though they may slow you down, you got to keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That is not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'll be looking for you on Saturday. Have a great weekend and stay safe. Bye bye.